friends. Thank you so much for being here today. It is Good Friday, and I've been doing my best all day long to clean up the dining room and iron this old tablecloth, luncheon cloth. It's a little one. I couldn't put it at an angle because it's not square. I didn't really have an Eastery one, more like, tulips. So I had to use this one, and it was okay because I do have some eggs that are blue. I don't usually collect them as much as other colors, but it is hard to pass them up if they're priced nicely. I've had this one for at least a couple years. It's a smaller size. It's a iridescent glaze on it and lots of nice gold accent. So the size worked well for a centerpiece. I was really kind of tickled finding one of these at Bibles for Missions, which has now changed their name to Legacy Thrift. I think it was 99 cents, and it looks vintage to me. So that was in their Easter things out front of the store, and I thought, oh, that is so cool. I was pretty happy thinking about putting some of these hobbyist eggs in it and a taper candle. And I went to the back of the store eventually looking for more vintage items. And here was the other one. It was in the candle area. I told Norm, wow, this is just too neat to be able to find a second one. I thought, I am definitely going to use those for my Easter table. So I hope you think that's cute. I do. Do you have a pair, or have you ever seen anything like this before? I just don't know if I have or not. I can't recall way back when we were first married. I was buying the Ukrainian eggs, beautifully done. We even watched women making them somewhere in the Twin Cities. Yeah, so that's all I could find for a tablecloth. It's cute. Let's go see what's different over here. I didn't have a lot of time to change up too much in the Hutch except the mugs that I just brought upstairs today. Those bird mugs are pretty well-known sets, and they have red ones, I should say red feet ones, and a cardinal is on them, and they have ones with a kind of a caramel color for fall that has a different bird on it. I can't recall, but I use those in the fall sometimes. If I want to use the bird mugs, I will take away the blue ones and probably the green ones and just stick with the yellow, the tan, the red, and the orange. And that looks fun too, to do that. But I think they're pretty cute to put out for Easter. I love them. I'm sure you've probably seen these sets before, have you? I seem to run into them a lot in the antique malls. Yep. So I actually have 3 sets that I've just collected over many years because they were so reasonable. So that way I can have, like at least 2 of each color out or more. That's the way I decided to work it. I did change from just greenery in there in those pots. I did put these cute little yellow flowers in there. They're just plastic ones, which I like better than silk. And I did leave these glasses in there. I have yellow tulip glasses, but you can look at those in my previous year's Easter video. I'm pretty sure I put them out then, so I just kind of forgot about them today when I was redoing this. But if you've seen last year's Easter video, then you did see them. So I decided these little vintage planters had a lot of green on them. They were green and yellow mostly, and I didn't want to leave them. This little guy, he's kind of getting too close there to this one. This is my newest one right here. I was going to say Wild Collective Vintage. Yes, I think that's just what I found last week. Yep. It was the only thing I purchased that day, I believe. Norm wanted to get out. He really has been having cabin fever with this cold weather. And, you know, trying to take it easy. He badly wants to get out and walk around. So the Wild Collective Vintage, huge mall. It's growing and growing. You know, they keep opening up. Maybe they call them bays. So they add more vendors, and it's very exciting. They've had like 3 or 4 grand openings. And the coffee shop. We enjoy that too. We sat down, had the coffee was just, smell was just wafting through the antique mall. It smelled so good. We just had to go get some at the Clapping Monkey coffee shop. Oh, it was so good. And we had some wonderful cookies there too. So anyways, that's what I bought. Norm got to walk around a little bit. But some of these you've seen in my previous Easter videos or spring videos in the kitchen. But this year I decided to stick with a little more of the pastel little animal planters out there. So I will be showing you those. So these were the darker ones. That one pig, yes, he's more pastel, having the little turquoise accents, but the black hat was the reason why I didn't add him out in the kitchen with the others. So I've got so many now. I'm thrilled to have them and find them at really good prices all over the place. I've got so many now that I was able to put some on my kitchen shelving, and the window ledge. I managed to get like, maybe there's 5 on the window ledge. So that's been fun. They are probably my favorite spring items, is those old planters. I know a lot of you like them too because they're animals. I've had this Japan bunny planter for decades. Really, really long time. I'm not certain who made it, if there is any identification on it, but it's really sweet. And the arrangement came from somewhere else. I'm probably going to be shading myself a little bit here off and on. I apologize for the camera if it gets a little darker, but this is just the most fun plastic Hong Kong arrangement that I don't recall what it was in, but it does have a green styrofoam base that just fits in that pot barrel. So I kind of was lucky. I added the little poke flocked chick that was not in there. And I just found these somewhere, and I think it was Bibles for Missions. Let me see if there's anything on the bottom. Nope. Kind of reminds you of Goebel, though, doesn't it? It could be. You never know. I don't know if they just have a sticker that could have fallen off. But that was a cute find. I had fun with my milk glass dishes and all of these eggs. I better get out of my light again here. So there's quite a bunch down in there. And I could try putting a light on for you too. I think that gives you a better look way back in there. These are all plain, but they are ceramic, probably hobbyist. Somebody did the whole batch of them. I got that whole batch in an adorable hobbyist Easter basket that's yellow that I did show in last year's video, maybe the year before too. And these are pretty elaborate. The one in the middle, I probably found that at least a year or more ago. It is huge, isn't it? And that is ceramic. I don't know if it would be hobbyist or not, but it is just huge. Really fun. Now, I don't know if these will look better with the light on. These two bigger bunnies are what I think most people call chalkware, and so are the eggs. I found the two eggs at different times. Bibles for Missions, 59 cents probably. I love this little guy. I have shown him to you on the kitchen shelving in previous years. He's pretty funny. And I did show these last year. I think I found these at Goodwill. I just found these at Goodwill, I think, just this year when I was finding some bunnies. That one was last year. Big floppy-eared bunnies, yeah, they're hobbyist pieces. And I didn't go over here yet. I found that little guy last year and painted the carrot because it was hardly any paint on it at all. And there's a very tiny hobbyist egg. And that's a fairly new find. Kind of fun when they're looking down like that. It's always kind of cute to have them hanging off the shelf. Oh, you know what I was going to say about these? They look like chalkware. I don't think I did finish saying. They look like chalkware, but they're not. They're ceramic. Isn't that weird? They just have this duller finish on them than what you'd expect on ceramic. Their eyes are very shiny, but not the rest of them. So it does give you a different thought. Even that's shinier than these up here. I did find these three cute little ducks. They are Homeco. And they each had a little ribbon around their neck of different colors, a little bow. I wasn't crazy about that. I don't know. I just don't like bows on things. If it's painted on, fine, but I don't know. I just wasn't crazy about it. I liked them to look more natural. So yeah, those were fun to find, the whole set. And this guy I've had for a very, very long time. Another hobbyist floppy-eared bunny. That is another really, really tiny hobbyist egg. So tiny. And I think I just found this guy this year. A little nicer quality. And this is a funny old salt or pepper. I would love to see the other one. I would love to find the other one, his mate. But he's kind of hugging this cute little duck dish that was a gift from Jennifer. She sent us so many cute gifts in a large box full of adorable things and big things too. Yeah, it's so sweet. So she gave me another little Easter thing too that's actually pretty old, probably from the 50s. Yeah, it's in the shadow box in the stairwell. So that was nice of her. Jennifer Dawson, that's it. Yes, thank you, Jennifer, so much. So I've had this one for quite a while. I decided not to put anything in it. And this was something Norm decided to get me last year. It's a very sweet bunny planter. And I did say last year who made it. But it's a very nice quality one, and it's so cute, but I certainly have enough Easter stuff. This is a Hong Kong cute little plastic basket. I had so many Easter things I didn't get around to, like putting a taller vase in there or something like that. I just decided to use it for that. And this has probably always been, as far as a collection goes, yes, I do love my animal planters, but as far as real Eastery things, I love the chocolate bunnies that I have found for years all over the place, everywhere. So in the living room this year, I put all the milk chocolate ones. These are actually more dark chocolate. That one is, yes, very, very dark, but they are hobbyist. I don't think these were that have more detail fur on them. So I just found this one, and it has a little sparkly eggs and flowers on the base, and that is your typical paper-like grass that was glued on. So that one's quite different than all the others, because all the detailed ones like him in the living room are, just plain chocolate. They don't have any color like that. Now this was actually my most recent find, though. It was quite, several months ago. A big dish, really big dish. That one looks a little milkier, but trust me, all of these are a little darker than what I put in the living room. So Norm keeps saying that I should have had one that had a ear bit off of him, but I've never seen that. So let's see if it says something on the bottom of this big dish. I think it was only $5, and I can't remember where. So you can see this bunny dish is not new. It's 2009 by Harry and David. So dishwasher safe even. Wow. That's impressive. I wouldn't bother doing that, but yeah, that was really fun to find for only $5, I believe. Pretty cool. That is a pretty video. I can't wait till we start seeing some green, but we can't believe it. It's actually going to be in the 60s tomorrow, 70s by next week, and even they're talking we could hit an 80.
Good evening, everyone. It's Norm, and it is Good Friday. And I finally got the window for Easter finished. It took a long time coming to this point. Various problems were cropping up. I had to do a little recovery from an operation I had on March 20th on my colon. Nothing serious. Just needed to take a twist out, and then 5 days in the hospital after that. And now I'm home, and I just gotta make sure I don't lift up anything too heavy for 6 weeks, and I'll be back to shape. Peggy and I, a couple weeks ago, went over to Joann Fabrics, and we found some fabric for the back of my door here on the booth. I've switched this door around now, and now it swings out horizontal, which is a lot easier than having to lift it up vertically and then brace it up with a 2x2 and try to work around that without dropping the thing on my head. So let's get a little closer look at what we have here for the window this Easter. Some of them are Osbro, but not that many. I believe this one in the back with the Easter bunny kicking his foot up and pushing a baby carriage is a Rosbro one. If you recall seeing a video we did here a year or so ago, that Easter bunny right there with the drumming is quite the character. He just beats that drum, and he has a good way of rocking back and forth, so he really gets into the groove. Peter Rabbit, he actually kind of makes a little music when you crank it. I've got several of these larger Easter eggs that are the paper mache ones that open up. Been collecting those over the years. They keep getting bigger, and I've been starting to pass a few up because I'm getting too many of them. They do take up quite a bit of space, but they're fun, and actually the price seems to be dropping down on them a little bit. They have been quite expensive, so I was always passing them up. Back here in the corner, if you recall, when Peggy and I went out to the treasure shed this past fall, we came across this crazy duck here who wiggles, and the faster he sings a tune, the faster he flaps his wings. It was really funny. I couldn't pass it up. And if you recall a video when we were out there, I said, "You're going home with me, buddy," and I took him home. And here's that melted plastic Tweety bird over here. Peggy had this cross in the window in the entrance. It is on plastic, what do they call that? It's, you can cut out the pattern. It's on plastic sheeting. Getting back down here, see what else we have. I got a big chicken here sitting on a basket. It's got a hole in the front. It's almost like you'd put an egg in there, but he's not the kind where you push him down and he lay an egg, so I don't know if something's missing on that or if that was maybe for a great big lollipop or something. But at any rate, we just come across these crazy Easter decorations, and they're just obviously a little over the top, but we got this bunny breaking out of an egg here. And these guys are kind of crazy. He looks like a sailor. Got a big long neck, and he's sitting in a basket with some more ducks and carrots in among the flowers. This guy here, he does lay an egg, and if you ask me, it'd be a pretty big one. I happen to have a Pez dispenser here with no feet on it, which means it's an older one. I thought I'd stick him in the window here. When Peggy and I were out at Nostalgia here about a month ago, we came across these. She had all of these little crazy ducks and chicks in various displays and shapes and everything, and I just thought this one was the funniest one. It was a window, sitting in the window there at the shop, so I decided to get it. In the back here, I've got a tin rabbit pulling a cart. That one's on wheels too. And those are, we found that up at the Antique Mall in Rogers. And it's a cute little tin toy. And we got a bunny down here that hops. And this one here is kind of funny. He's got one of these other little characters that is just sitting in the basket while the rabbit is doing all the work. So, I did notice one thing I haven't seen in quite a while, and if you look back through there, well, what do you know? It's Waldo. I think he just came back from vacation. I haven't seen him in quite a while, and he looks like he's been relaxing on a beach somewhere. Hopefully somewhere a lot warmer than it is out here. But at any rate, it's good to see him. Welcome back, Waldo. Got a big chicken over here with a basket of eggs. And he drops eggs too, and they are big. But the bigger the rooster, the chicken or whatever, the bigger the eggs. I guess that's the way it works. And we got a molded plastic rabbit here sitting on a basket. He's kind of cute. He's not old at all, but he's very colorful. All right, well, I have another rabbit in back there. And we stuck another bunny standing up inside him. And it is getting cold out again. Saturday, April Fool's Day, we got snow here in Minnesota. So I had part of this done, but then it turned out with all the snow out there, and I wasn't able to do any shoveling. I can't lift anything over 20 pounds for the next 6 weeks, so that put a real crimp in my plans for getting out here and doing the window. Well, it's April Fool's Day, Saturday. A lot of the areas around us got 10 inches of snow. It looks like we could have gotten maybe 8 at least. And it's going to be a while for it to go away because I'm not supposed to do any shoveling or anything, so it's going to sit here. But our maple tree, our tricolor maple tree, is really coated in snow. So, yeah, our neighborhood looks like it's the middle of winter. And the snow came down as rain, froze very quickly, put 2 inches of ice on the driveway all over it. And then more snow on top, and it was so hard to get off. Very fortunate, and a blessing from a neighbor here came by last Sunday. I thought I heard something out, and Peggy said, "What's that noise?" And here James, a neighbor across the street, out of the kindness of his heart, and thinking that Peggy and I might have been out of town because he knows I always do the driveway right away, and he had no idea what I was doing recently in the hospital. So he came over and he started clearing the driveway off. So I quick put on a sweater and a cap, and I went out and opened up the garage door, and he was surprised to see me, and he explained that he was trying to do me a favor, which was wonderful. And I have to say that probably that was the hardest snow job removal in all the years we've lived here. He had a big snow blower with a double auger on it, and he worked for an hour and a half. I told him, "Look, just do a little bit down the middle so I can get the van out." I had backed it in the driveway into the garage so I could bust it through at the end of the driveway. He said, "Norm, if you try to go through that, you're going to break the whole front of your van. It is solid ice," and I had to use a chisel and my snow blower to get it out of the way for you. And then by another hour or two later on that day, it was completely burned off, and the sun came out on our asphalt drive and cleaned it off. But if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have been able to get out to the mail. I wouldn't have been able to get out to put our recycling out, which was coming up shortly. So he was a true blessing. He did a great job and a great service for us. I really appreciate it. Well, I hope you all have a happy Easter. Thanks for watching this. And I hope to get back into the swing of things here very quickly. And God bless all of you.